Andy, we got a poll question today. You won 2 majors. The anniversary of the moonwalk. So if I said you could be Neil Armstrong or you can have your 2 majors, if you could trade in those 2 majors to walk, first guy to walk on the moon, would you do that?
Well, I would suspect to be the only guy to walk on the moon to be pretty sporty. Other guys have won 2 majors, but nice poll question.
Well, we were wondering if you could be Rory McIlroy today or you could be Neil Armstrong.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends on what flavor of life you like to enjoy.
How much of a surprise?
How the heck are you doing?
I'm doing great, Andy, and good to have you back on. How are you?
Thanks. Good. Yeah, it was a pretty sporty week last week. Rory played some pretty spectacular golf, and it looks like that I truly have been saying this for a couple of years, that I think he's the next dominant number 1 player in our business.
Okay, but I guess we get spoiled sometimes when we're looking for consistency, with our greatness, that we see flashes and then we wonder where they go. That's that staying power, the sustainability that Tiger had. I'm not suggesting Rory can be the next Tiger because I don't think that's possible, but can you have somebody to have sustainability for a 3-5 year period? That's my curiosity with these guys.
Well, I think, so much as the individual. There's so few people like Tiger that are so driven to be great and to be the best. And, you sacrifice things in your life to be that. There's not a lot of people that can do that. But is Rory going to be more like Phil or is he going to be more like Tiger? I think that's a pretty interesting question.
Yeah.
Because, obviously all 3 are supremely talented, and the consistency that Tiger went about his life was unbelievable. The fact that he could, he'd go stretches where he wouldn't finish out of the top 10 for 10 weeks. That's ridiculous. He really ruined our game in a lot of ways for a lot of these other guys, that you go out and be a Dustin Johnson win once every year for 7 or 8 straight years. That's incredible. But that's, he only won once this year. Tiger won 6. Tiger won 7. Tiger won 8. It's crazy.
Do you think it was worth it for Tiger?
I don't know. I think there's still some pages to be written in his book, and I really do think that he has a chance to still be a great player and be, a guy who is going to be contending to do some great things. But, I think that's a question you have to ask him 10 years from now. I think he's changing. I think being a dad is a big deal to him. And, you never know what will happen. We all change as we get older. Look how mild and easygoing you are now compared to 20 years ago.
He's Andy North, the ESPN golf analyst, joining us, Dan Patrick Show, as I breeze right by that question. But I'm also thinking that with Tiger and where he is with his career, his life, with everything that this was what it was all about. Brandel Chamblee said he thinks Tiger got bored with his swing years ago and wanted to, for thrills, hey, I'll just break my swing down and do another one. Is it really that simplistic that he got bored with being the best in the world and wanted a degree of difficulty again?
I don't know. I think that, unfortunately, we're all fairly strange that play this game, and you're always searching and striving for perfection, which doesn't come, and you keep trying to change. Every single player who's ever played this game has made changes in their game. Maybe not as dramatic as Tiger has. And unfortunately, so often it doesn't work. You don't get better, you get worse. And, I think you look at an awful lot of professional athletes in a lot of different sports. It's the same thing. Maybe you get to the point where you think a certain amount of lifting a certain way, or you add something to your program that you get slower instead of getting faster. It's just, unfortunately, we're all wired so differently that you just think that I can get better. I can be better than everybody else. Well, he already was, but I think he was chasing perfection, and that's something that just can't be ever caught.
The one sort of it's story that's not under the radar, but maybe not getting as much attention as I thought it would or should is Ricky Fowler and working with Butch Harmon. And Ricky Fowler's not that clothing curiosity anymore. Like, he's a legitimate golfing star, waiting for that breakthrough there. How close is he? And could this be one of those situations where you're sort of born at the wrong time, like Patrick Ewing and some of those other guys during the Jordan era? Here's Ricky Fowler in the Rory McIlroy era.
Well, I think, first of all, Ricky put a ton of work in last fall and over the winter to make his swing better. And with the help of Butch and a ton of hard work, he has tightened it up. He's got some things in his swing now that he can rely on. And he's had an unbelievable year. He was a little sketchy early on. He didn't have a lot of confidence in what he was doing. He wasn't putting very well. But how he's played in the major championships is unbelievable.
And you know who he reminds me of, and it's a different sport, is Andre Agassi. Remember, image is everything, Andre Agassi, the hair, different things that he would wear. And then he broke through, and then we looked at Agassi as a great tennis player.
I think that's a pretty good idea. And Ricky's a great kid. I mean, he's a fabulous young guy that has great heart and determination. And, it's not his fault that people looked at him that way. But he's a guy that he has got a fabulous future. I mean, if he's a stock, I'm buying big time.
But if Rory McIlroy's his stock.
Yeah, and you're buying everything you get of that, too.
If I said you could have Rory stock or Adam Scott stock or Ricky Fowler stock?
Rory, all day long.
Well, he's going to cost you. That's like Google stock or...
Well, I'm buying it early.
Oh, you are? Oh, you got in early. Okay. Like when he was 15 before the IPO?
Exactly. Like his dad. Like his dad did.
Andy, great to talk to you again. Tell Van Peasy I said hello, and thanks for joining us.
Well, anytime. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, bud. That's Andy North from the Mothership.